Okay, open weeks. Always look forward to open weeks, but I've never had 2 in 3 weeks. It's kind of been an unusual season in that regard, but I think really it worked out to our benefit in a lot of ways, though I do think you get a little out of rhythm with this. But for where we were at with things and stuff, it's helped us. We kind of focused on, our health first off. I don't want to complain about injuries, but it's kind of been one of those years. In 40 years, I've seen 2 of them kind of like this, and we've had 8 ACL injuries. Felix Romero's undergoing surgery this morning. He's out for the season. Chris Nuttall had surgery last Friday. He broke his leg in the Lafayette game, so both of those are out for the year. We are going to be able to get some guys back thanks to the open week. They're not all 100%, but I think the guys that have been dinged and been out for a while will be able to play Saturday night, which is good. We needed that to happen. But it has been an unusual year in that regard. So you close ranks, you march on, the next man's up, and you go. We worked hard on things we could fix and improve. We worked hard on trying to get our personnel in better positions in the right spot. And of course, we worked hard on South Alabama, Georgia Southern a little bit because we play Saturday and we flip and play Thursday night, plus have to travel. Georgia Southern plays Thursday night, so they get a week of preparation and we don't, which is kind of first time I've ever seen this in college football, but that's life in the Sun Belt. So we'll get ready for that, and we've worked hard to we haven't practiced against Georgia Southern stuff, but we have got them all broke down and are ready to start our game plan. But we will practice Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week in preparation to play Thursday, so a little bit different kind of week for us, and we'll have to practice late Monday. South Alabama has been a tough game both years I've been here. We won on the last play here, exciting ending, and we lost on the last play there, exciting ending. It's never as exciting when you lose as when you win, but it was down to the last play. They've always got a good team, it seems like, good athletes, good skill guys, good receivers, good tight ends, solid running back. They were helped a lot by the transfers they were able to get from UAB, coaches and players. And I think that's helped their team this year to reload a little bit because they lost a lot of guys. But they've got playmakers on offense, and they always play good, tough defense. That hasn't changed since we've been playing them, and we've had to work hard for our points. And really last year we kind of blew it when we got 3 turnovers in the first quarter and only got 10 points, and that hurt us in the result of the game. So hopefully we'll get some turnovers, but make better use of them this time.
How pivotal is this game for one that can put you on the road to having a successful season, or it being a season that is not good?
Or what?
How pivotal is this
I
game?
know you and Joe and all of you would like to find a way for me to punctuate that for you. I'm not quite in that. They're all pivotal, and certainly we want to get turned around and going in a better direction. We do have 4 of the next 5 games at home, and this is the start of that. So, we started the year with hoping that we could take care of home field. We've lost that a little bit with the Southern Miss game, but we've gotten out of a pretty tough first 5 games here. 2 of them are undefeated, ranked in the top 25. I think Lafayette will go on and have a really good record. I looked at the record of the composite today, and it was like 26-7 or something like that. I don't know if that's exactly right, but our first 5 opponents have been tough, and So we're to the point here now where we've got Not that we're not going to play some good teams, but we get to play at home, and so we'd like to get started taking care of home field here, and I think it's pivotal from that standpoint, and to try to get our momentum reversed and go in the different direction, hopefully play better. And we play better at home. It seems like, again, it's unusual. It seems like it's a start of a new season for us. It's been so long since we played at home. What's it been, a month, I guess? Is that right? So that's a long time. That's not really, this is not, again, life in the Sun Belt. This is really not the way a schedule ought to lay out. You don't play at home for a month, which is not all their fault. It's non-conference, but then we have 3 home games in a row, which I'm not sure that, I mean,
2 in 5 days.
Yeah, 2 in 5 days. So it's a crazy schedule, but that's life in the Fun Belt, and that's the way that goes.
Some new faces on defense last game. They said they're doing well up there at the D-line. Davis got a lot of play at linebacker. How did you feel with it?
Some of them not too bad. Cedric is work in progress, certainly. We kind of had to force him out there with the injuries that we've had. Ishmael, I thought, did pretty good. He's certainly not an all Sun Belt player yet, but he gave us some speed and he made some plays. Made some mistakes, but I think in time he's going to be a pretty good football player. We just don't have time right now, but we've had to put a lot of them on defense because of the injuries. Maybe out there a little before they're ready, but next man up, that's what you've had to do.
Obviously a tough loss to Chris, but from the 2 running backs, Tyler stepping up, have you seen a step forward from those guys looking forward into the game against South Alabama?
Well, Tyler being a transfer that didn't have the benefit of spring practice, I think he's been getting a little better, all along. And you always kind of, as a coach, sit and say, they'll be better in October than they were September, and he is better. He's more confident. He understands what he's doing. He makes fewer mistakes. Same with Stedman. Our decision this week is, do we take the red shirt off Nick Bingham and play him? Which I'm inclined to say we probably will. But we'll watch the week of practice here and kind of see how he does. He missed all last week. He wasn't injured. He had his wisdom teeth pulled. So, when I had my wisdom teeth pulled, I didn't miss any practice. What's the deal, man? I only had one. So, so that pushed him back a little bit. But we'll see how his week of practice goes before we make a final call on Nick and how much he'll be in there. But Tyler Sadinsky will come in and do an adequate job. I'm sure of that.
Do you think about Tim Gay?
We do. We talked about him a lot the last few days. How much is he going to play on defense? How much would he play on offense? It's not been an easy decision there. We have not moved him yet, though he does play in some of our big sets, and will continue to do that now that he's back going to play. But yeah, we've had a lot of discussion about whether to move Tim back or not. If we were a 2-back team more, we would have to. And last week was really the first week we went to more 2-back sets with Chris and Rob in the backfield, and unfortunately Chris gets hurt. Feel bad for Chris being a senior and all he's been through, and what he's given to this program and things. And fortunately Felix has another year, and we'll have him back. But really feel for Chris. Football's been such a pivotal part of his life and meant so much to him, and he has to find a way to redirect now. Y'all good?
One question, sir. Third quarters have been a problem for us in this last game, so how do you address the thing to where this, let's not let this happen again? Like in Lafayette, the third quarter was not a great one for you also. How do you avoid the mindset of you can't let this happen again?
Well, I think we, you do it a variety of ways. You talk to them, show them the film, show them the things that got us into problems. We've been our own worst enemy offensively with some penalties and then some breakdowns, and of course the turnover in the first 9 plays against Lafayette. As coaches, we have to take responsibility to get us in better plays, I think, offensively, to try not to let that happen. And we got to play better in the third quarter. And I don't know if there's a better answer than what I just gave you there. I wish there was, but I think we spend offensively. I know the offensive coaches spend most of their halftime deciding how they're going to come out and sequence the start of the third quarter. So you look at what's been good, you look at what you haven't got to that you want to and that you need to, and for what the defense has gotten a feel for us or whatever, and we may need more change-ups or something in that early third quarter.
You're right. You said torn ACLs this year. I did not know it was that high.
Yeah.
I know there's who all are we missing? Torn ACLs, I guess.
Frankie Griffin, Cody Casey. I should have brought the injured guys' names in here. You have to help me maybe. Felix, Austin Crossick, Gunter. Yeah, that's the bulk of them. There's some more. I can get you all the names if you want. I just don't have them on the tip of my tongue here. But one torn Achilles. So,
You said we've had 2 seasons like this in 40 years. 8 torn ACLs, you've had that before?
it wasn't necessarily all ACLs, but season-ending type injuries where, and to kind of put, I hate to sound like I'm whining about injuries, so if I am, stop me because I don't want to ever do that. Okay. No, I know, and I appreciate it. But if you guys will go back to our very first press conference, what I told you, I said, hey, we're finally starting to kind of get 22 starters that are starting to be Division I quality, and now we need depth. Well, our depth is being taxed at a deeper level than I certainly am. You always know as a coach you're going to have injuries, but it's being taxed at probably a deeper level than any of us could have foreseen. When you have 4 defensive tackles and you leave 3 of them home, and the 4th one gets hurt on the 11th play of the game, defensive tackle is a hard position to be much deeper at than 4, maybe 5. So we still got to coach better and play better, and things like that. I certainly. Everybody in this game has injuries, but we just seem to, when we've gotten hit, it seems to be at one position so much, or one side of the ball. In fact, before the Lafayette game, should never say these things. I'm thinking, well, at least, our offensive guys have stayed pretty healthy. Zing got me twice last Saturday night. So it's just kind of a virus that's permeating through right now, it seems like, and hopefully we'll get it under control. I'm sure everybody's had some of these.
I was thinking, we had Will Trevelyan concerned, but also very on the offensive line, so you probably heard from the tackle.
Well, he played D-tackle in the Houston game. He was our backup. We started a walk-on at nose and Herbert, and we had to move Will over that week with all the injuries, and then with Rashad getting hurt in the 11th play, he had to play, which with very little practice time. So at least Rashad and Dallas and DeAndre are all healthy enough to play in this game. Now, I don't want to say DeAndre's probably 100%. I don't know if the other 2 are, but they'll play. So helps.
Fran, how will you evaluate on Saturday if the defense is improved? How will you be able to measure that aside from, if we see you win 50-49, we'd love it, but I don't think that would still show very much progress on defense.
Well, I thought we tackled better in the Lafayette game. I thought we got more hats to the ball in that game. I think you can judge if we're improving by tackling, by pursuit, by leverage, by the position we're in. This is a game of scoring points today, as I've said before about defense, but getting off blocks and making plays, We were much sounder in alignment and assignment in the Lafayette game. All those kinds of things kind of lend you to say, okay, we made some improvement, or we didn't, and we did those things better. We've kind of been our own worst enemy. We were 14-14. We let them get one in right before half. Offense doesn't have a very good series. All of a sudden, defense is in bad field position. We've had 2 inadvertent whistles this year, and they both worked against us. In the Southern Miss game, of course, if we don't have an inadvertent whistle, we may pick it up and run it in for a touchdown. They call an inadvertent whistle and give the ball back to Southern Miss. Well, we kept saying on the sideline, it's still our ball. No. Well, the replay official did not step in and do what he should have, which was give us the ball. And then at Lafayette, as soon as it happened and the inadvertent whistle happened, I thought, oh, they're going to give them the ball this time instead of giving it back to us, and they did. And that was the correct call. They did call it right, and it was a unique play that happened. But sometimes, we just seem to be getting some of those kind of breaks that we hopefully will start balancing out, because I think as a coach, you say over a season they're going to balance out, and hopefully we'll get some of those.
How do you manage the emotions on the sidelines when you get a kickoff return and then they turn around and get another one too? I mean, everybody's got to be up and then straight down. So what do you do at that point?
Well, you say, "Oh darn," and you and you move on to the next play. In this game, you have to manage the ups and downs of a game. You have to manage the adversity. A lot of times at pregame meal, I'll ask the guys, how are you going to respond if they return the opening kickoff for a touchdown? You're immediately behind 7-0. How are you going to respond? Because this game is a continual response. It's whether it's something good has happened to you or whether something bad has happened. And heaven knows there's going to be an ebb and flow to a game, and as the game wears on, you just hope to make a play or two more than the other team did. And if we win, it always seems to be close. So hopefully you've talked to them about adversity and handling it, mental toughness, the focus that it needs to keep playing, and that was we got it to 35-21. You're feeling pretty good right there. We get a stop. It's a 2-score game. I always say that's just 2 plays, and here it goes the other direction. So, crazy game. You're asking too hard of questions today. Making me think, constipate too much. All right, you've got one?
One question. How important is it for the defense to start creating more turnovers or mistakes by the quarterback?
If we're going to win, they have to. We've got to.
So what's the key to maybe getting that turned around?
Well, our pass rush has been, we got to get more on the edge in some of our, if it's a 4-man rush, sometimes we get glued right down the middle, and we got to get more to the edge. I think getting some of these guys back healthy that can do that. When we do bring pressure, we got to get there, and the other night Brad brought pressure several times, and we didn't get there, but we did make him throw a little off balance at times, and we've got to make hay then and make something happen, because if not, if you give him too much time, you're going to be exposed. We've been dreadful on takeaways. I mean, we just haven't been very good on defense, so it all fits together. And we did get a good 4th down stop the other night where she fumbled, and we didn't get credit for a turnover, but it was the same as. So reaching for a little positive there.